We're back! I've trimmed my beard. That's bad, innit? Bloody job interview I had. Right, no messing. Coming up this week, I'll lose focus.
Oh, focus you. There we go.
My boat gets flooded.
My bilge is completely and utterly full of water.
We have a gusher. And I say goodbye. See you next week. Let's get into it.
We're back. First boat job. Prop shaft, because I can do that now. I need to take it to an engineering company and get a haircut again. Or go back to the hat. I go back to the hat, kick it old school. Renewed enthusiasm. Right, there's people around, so I'm hiding behind my boat because I'm me. Right, let's show you what's wrong with it. Okay, prop shaft. This is the end that goes into the coupler. All good. A little bit. Oh, focus you. There we go. A little bit snow, but that makes no difference whatsoever. The problem comes, I mean, there's this here. I'm not sure what actually touches the prop here, because the stern tube isn't that long, I don't think. Or it might be. I don't know. But it'll be right. The problem arises down here. So what's happened is the let's get this. Let's get rid of that. The threads on this side. Can you see how that thread is slightly cut? So when I've removed the bolt nut off the end, it has damaged the threads on this. So that can't be used anymore. So how it was set up was it had this, two of those, and this, and then the split pin through there, but it can't go back on like that. So what I'm thinking of doing is going down to one of these, and when this goes on, that's actually beyond where the threads are gnarled up. So what I'm going to do is take it to an engineering place and get them to cut it off. Focus. Cut it off level with the cut it off level with the right hand side of this, so I'm shortening the shaft slightly onto the good threads, and then get a fresh nut on the end of it and get them to re-drill for the cancellation. And there's all this as well, which focus, which isn't great, but I think if they put it in a lathe and run a bit of sandpaper around it, a bit of scratch on it, it should be alright. I'll just keep this prop. I also need a new Dewberry dangler in there, so I'll get them to measure that, because that needs to be quite precise, and then I'll look for one. Focus. Yeah. So that's today's job. Take it over to, I've had Peach Engineering recommended to me, so I'll go and see if they can do it. Yeah, I'm going to take the van over. It's only a 10-minute walk, but I've got a really sore toe, so I'll be lazy, so we'll have to see if the van works. Let's go and do that. Et voila, a van. This is my old shed. Let's see how she goes. Let's see how she goes. Oh, it was never in doubt, apart from when it was in doubt. Right, have you seen the boat hotel, by the way? We probably have, but yeah, stop faffing. Right, van's insured, so I use an app called Cover to insure my van when I use it. It costs like 12 quid for 12 hours or something like that, so there's no point in me having the van insured when it's off-road. So basically in the last 6 months I've had the van, I've spent about 80 quid on insurance. instead of lots more. Yeah, right, let's go. I'm back. I've been driving. It's been half hour. It's like a magical timey-wimey wibbly-wobbly thing, because I only just said goodbye a second ago. But the guy with the what's it needs the castellated nut, obviously, which I didn't even think about the order of operations in order to re-drill the new hole. So came looking for a castellated nut and can't find one anywhere. It's a 1/2 inch BSF bronze castellated nut. So I'm going to ring a place. But what I did do is come to a place called Mechanical Services, which is just down the way, and I asked them about it and told them what I needed, and they very kindly made me a little stainless steel keyway thing for nothing, and inspected all the threads and told me what I needed and all the rest of it. So, you know, nice people around. So yeah, that's mechanical engineering in Portland. So they seem pretty genuine people. You want to go there, go there. Right, next on the list, trying to get a BSG giant friendly. We'll be back in a bit.
Hello, it's me. Update on the prop shaft. I got the little nutty doodad from a place called Lake something in Poole. Feel like I might be making that up. It's someplace in Poole, but it got delivered. It was only 12 quid, and they give me a split pin with it as well. So that's now in with Peach Engineering. It's been there a week. I rang him yesterday, and apparently he's going to do it today. So if he gets a phone call, if I get a phone call, I'll go and grab it. But while that is in there, we must not rest. Get onto some other stuff like engineing. Yeah. Okay, we're on the boat. What am I doing? Taking the engine out. Why am I taking the engine out? Because I need to clean all the bilge and everything. I want to get this deck out, and because of the way that it's sealed, the best access is through the engine doodad. I've got some footage of me trying to get that deck up. If it's any good, I'll put it in now. If it wasn't, I'm still here. If you're new, my engine lives under here. It's a Yanmar 1GM10. It seems quite daunting getting an engine out, but in a boat it's actually relatively simple. I've done it before if you've been watching for a while. I'll actually film it this time. Yeah, sort of in a car there's so much stuff and balls bolted onto it. In a boat it's not that bad, so yeah, let's go through the process of what actually needs to be undone and shizzle. Bonjour. I'm actually going to try and use my phone because I've got a little fasten up in mode danger, and it's about the best camera I've got, so I'm going to do a thing. Yeah, that she blows. Et voila, une engine. So what's different between this and a car engine? Well, the coolant is just one simple pipe at the bottom there. That needs to come off. The fuel return is there, and the fuel in, that needs to come off. The exhaust is just down there. Focus. That's got to come off. The throttle and gear linkage has got to come off, and obviously the prop shaft is already off. And then it's just a case of undoing the mounts. Oh, the electrics. The electrics is just one waterproof connected back there, plus a ground cable, earth cable, around the back. That's it, really. I mean, it's not more than probably 30 minutes work, something along those lines. Yeah. And then there's a little lifting hook here. I'm going to attach a chain hoisty thing up to the boom that I'll support. Lift it back, up, out, across, down, done. Something along those lines. yeah. Might as well get going, aren't we? Yeah. So you know things are always a bit awkward on a boat. Well, things are about to get a little bit awkward because I was going to disconnect my battery, which is the first step, and I don't know if you can see, but my bilge is completely and utterly full of water, like absolutely to the top. That's all water down there. So my automatic bilge pump has clearly stopped working. I've just switched it on manually and no water's coming out of it. So what has happened to that? So now I'm going to have to pump, I don't know, 100 litres of water out of the bilge. So rainwater's coming in from somewhere. Anywho, the battery's probably dead. Like literally the whole centre of the boat is full of water, so that's fun. Get that pumping, shall we? I don't know why my bilge pump isn't working. That is something else I'm going to have to address. But even on manual, the pump's spinning, so it's got power to it. I don't understand why it's not pumping water out. I don't know, but time for the manual bilge pump. And then, boys and girls, a Christmas... That didn't work, did it? And then, boys and girls, a Christmas miracle happened very early. I thought I'd just try the electric bilge pump, and she worked. So I managed to just pump the rest out using that. Let's get back. Yeah. Okay, bilge empty. Only took 5 minutes ish. I managed to jangle about the electric bilge pump after you must have had some crap stuck in the end of it. Once I bashed it about a bit, I've got it working. So yeah, she's empty in theory. Empty enough for these men. Right, get on doing the job I was actually doing now, shall I? Yeah. Right, battery disconnected. First job, I'm going to take this water out, then that fuel out. Pretty simple. I'm going to take this full strainer off because when the engine comes forward, I don't want it to catch that and do any damage. I might end up changing that seacock. Don't know, it depends how much they are, but yeah, first job. So I'll just do that. You don't need to see that, and in a minute it'll be done. Okay, stage uno completo. I bet you didn't know I could speak a language. So that's off, that's disconnected. The stop focusing on my finger. The fuel is off, and what I've done is put bump bolts in the end of it and then fastened them up so that it doesn't leak. Bolts aren't ideal because they're threaded, obviously, so diesel can seep around the threads. However, even when they were dangling down, there were no fuel coming out, so it's just a sort of belt and braces type thing, and they're tied up above the level of the tank, so nothing should siphon out. And the fuel thing's off. So yeah, belt braces, clothes. I've disconnected these. I forgot to mention these. This is the anti-siphon circuit from the double-danger. So when the water's been through the engine, it comes out here warm, goes up, and just comes through this side that I didn't even show you, and above the water line, and then back down before it goes into the exhaust to stop any water siphon thing. Hence the name anti-siphon valve. Who'd have known? Yeah, so next, the battery's disconnected. I'll get the power off, all the power off, then the throttle cables. There's not really much else. Oh, the exhaust. I think I'm going to replace the exhaust because that, you can't quite see it down there, but below there is a Vitus water trap, and it's cracked. So, you know, when the engine was running, it was letting fumes into the bilge. But don't tell anybody because you'll only whinge at me. I couldn't afford to do it, basically, so now I'm doing it. Yeah, right, next stage, wires and stuff. See you shortly. Hi, I just thought I'd show you while I'm here. The exhaust is off, and you see that bolt there just on the end of my finger. So this wire that's coming up is the common ground between the leisure battery and the engine. It's about 100 amp wire, something like that, which is more than the battery can actually discharge without cutting out. But then behind that is a much thicker cable, which is the goes to the ground terminal of the battery to charge the battery and stuff. So yeah, that diddly little wire isn't the main one. The main one's sort of this thickness, which is plenty. Yeah, so that's what I'm taking off next. That, and that. And that's all the electrics basically on the entire engine. Cool, isn't it? It's like little, it's like Lego or something. Right. Okay, stage a few, all undone, bloody yada yada. All we've got now is the throttle, which is down here, the gear selector, which is that rotten thing there, that's on the list to, I've actually got one of those, and the stop cable usually lives in there, but I removed it. It wants, the actual cable wants replacing. One of the twizzly bits came off and it didn't go in properly. It is now starting to rain, which means all my wood needs to come inside. So I'll get the cables off, show you that quickly when I'm done. And then I need to get this video edited. I'm not taking the engine out today because I'm going to actually get a lift with it, so I need to wait till people are here. I can do it on my own. I've done it before last time. It should actually be easier this time because I've got a chain hoist. But, well, I want all my stuff to get wet through. So yeah, it's the story of this sort of time of year. I've been dodging the weather. If you're not from the UK, you might not know that Storm Kieran's come through, which is forecast 80-90 knot winds in the channel. We got about 50, something like that. So I was like darting around the marina. Some of my friends weren't here, so I was checking on their boats and putting extra fenders in and making sure Dan's boat didn't float away. And generally faffing about, but there's not much you can do in that sort of weather. So yeah, I'll get them undone and then you'll probably see me back at the boat or something. Et voila, she is disconnected. There is a bracket on there, you see it? Just a couple of 10mm bolts to get that off the engine. It's easier to get that off the engine than the little posi driver things that are on it. It's easier to take the actual bracket off. Two 10mm bolts. Luckily, amazingly, I found the 10mm socket. Would you believe it? And the gearbox one's off down there as well. That's just rotten down there. I need to fix all that. But yeah, she's effectively out now. Apart from the 4 bolts on the springy, bouncy, up and downy mounts. Apart from that, she's done. So yeah, what I'm going to do is put the chain hoist on the boom. I'll put the main halyard fastened around the boom as well at the point at which the thingy drops off. Take the tension on the main halyard and the topping lift will be a backup. My topping lift is the same diameter as my main halyard, so it can be used as an emergency halyard anyway. But yeah, I don't want to put the weight in the middle of the boom and snap the boom, even though I'm thinking about replacing it. Drop the chain down, come onto this doobery dangery, lift it up, bring it forward, lift it up, push it out, and then I may have to reset it so it can be taken higher so it'll go over the coamings and stuff. And then I might have to do some kind of magical thing so it'll go low enough to go onto the stands that I've set up. So yeah, that is going to be this video this week. It might actually end up being quite a long one, but yeah, that's where we're up to. My little egg box of an engine is ready to be pulled out. I'll talk about what I'm going to actually do with the engine inside in the boat when I can sit down after I've edited all this gubbins. See you back at the boat. Oh, hang on. I should do one of them things, shouldn't I? See you back at the boat. Wow, professional. Yeah, so what am I going to do with the engine? Well, I'm going to tartar up a little bit. I'm going to put some lipstick on that pig. Get rid of some of the rust and stuff like that. I also want to do the valve clearances. Do that. I want to replace the gear change selector on it. I've got one of those already. I think it's at my dad's. A little spruce, just a bit of sprucing and stuff, but mainly the reason the engine is out, as I alluded to in the video, is to get the cockpit sole up. I think that's where the water's coming in, which ain't good, but what I'm going to do is get it up and then I'll reseal it all. Once I've painted all the bilge and replaced all the gubbins stuff inside, I'll put it back with butyl tape so it can be lifted up more easily, and then I'll paint a bead around the edges with that rubberized paint that I've got, and then it should be completely sealed. But while that's off, I can also access the cockpit drains from inside the boat rather than having to lift out the fuel tank, which is a bonus. Yeah, so that's the plans going forwards. The next video will be me taking the engine out and having a damn good look at it, probably, unless I do something else in the meantime. Once that engine is out, I'm going to strip the boom off and the sails and stuff and get the mast unstepped. I think it's 120 quid to get it unstepped. And then I can start doing some work on the mast and really assess what I'm going to do there. Yeah, but that's it. Back on the bike, or whatever you say. Cheers, Jeff. See you next week.